Hello everybody and welcome in today's video. In today's video we are going to be reviewing the #1 engine in my collection, Thomas the Tank Engine. Now Thomas is a Hornby 060 E2 class side tank steam engine. The model was made in 1985, however this model, and different reasons, uses multiple different components. It uses a 1985-86 coupling rod system, a 2009 shell, a 1985 face, and a motor from 1985. But at heart, this is 1985, and this is the standard that we need. Now, the detail is basic. You're not going to get anything major out of him. The model is, in general, basically an E2 by Hornby, just slapped a blue paint job and #1 to it. There's no detail besides a visible brake hose or a vacuum hose or a hose, and the buffers are the only detail. Everything else, mostly besides the whistles, is painted or printed onto the model. Now I will now demonstrate this model being disassembled. As you can see, I've now dismantled Thomas partially to show you the inside. He uses a standard Hornby type M-ish motor. This is 1985 after all, but at the time this was the motor that the E2s and most 060 units had used with tank engines. It's very basic. Again, we're talking about something from 34 years ago. They actually did not originally, nowadays, before Hornby discontinued the line, the Thomas did not have traction tires, and this one does. The reason was for power, but mainly what Hornby did is they decided that because the engine doesn't perform perfectly, I mean, what you get out of this model when it has traction tires is you get much less electrical contact, specifically meaning that if you were to run this on your layout with momentum, it would simply kind of go like and stop suddenly. It wouldn't glide slightly to a halt, which is what some of my modern diesels do. However, it's still very adequate. This was actually a set design, Thomas. Now, when you purchased these models, you had two options: to buy the standalone model, or if you, well, let me put the shell back on. Well, you had two options, as I said. The two options is you buy a set with Thomas and all the rolling stock. You like, an example, you would get, let's say, Annie and Clarabelle, or a bunch of trucks. Excuse me, or you could just buy a standalone Thomas. Now, if you bought the standalone Thomas, he would have more power and he would be much more higher quality. Because when you manage to produce train sets, you have to cut corners, so the motors weren't the best. That's why a few of them. But there's so few of these left in the world because, well, there's a lot of them still out there likely, but they're all locked up in people's loft up in London. Or back in the UK. Excuse me for that joke, that was inoffensive. But they're all in the UK. A lot of them are probably still in the UK, tucked up in the loft of someone's attic, or the attic of someone's house, sitting in a box waiting to be sold or restored or anything. But what would I give this model out of general score? Well, let's just say I give him a pretty high score for the reason I bought this model. Now, let me go into the story of how I acquired this model, because that's part of these reviews. I acquired this model back in 2018. It was a gift. I had a Thomas before then, but sadly it wasn't working the best. It was one of the set Thomases, and I think this also might have been the standalone. I'm not sure. But that one didn't perform very good. It had terrible performance. Broke after a day of running. So after a while I bought this Thomas. And I bought him from another YouTuber, Thomas.D, as he said, or Twisted Tom. And when I purchased him, I was the original shell, or I put a different one on because I broke the other shell, but that's a different story for another day. Check back on the year anniversary video to find out more about that nightmare. But what happened is that he sent me a damaged shell with the Thomas and the chassis and the underside, the plate between the gear, where this plastic piece is, yeah, that was broken. So, yes, very sad. But in general, this Thomas performs pretty well. And it's the first time he's been fully restored to working condition. Every part has been taken off. The wheels were re-quartered, I think, back in November, or maybe about November-ish, 2018-ish. They were re-quartered and reassembled. I'm not sure exactly why I recorded the wheels. Possibly for a chassis review. But anyway, this model gets a very high score. For the value it has with me, I give this guy a 5, because this guy is my favorite model out of most of my engines. Because I've had that personal attachment to the character for so long. We have a lot more planned with Thomas in 2019. He hasn't been in many videos. He's been getting a bit of work done to him. But you'll see him in a few weeks, possibly as late as March. It's a very neat little modification, and I think you'll all like that. But, well, anyways, thanks for watching this video. Click that like button, share this video, and get some views on this video, because, honestly, subscribe to this channel, because I might be a young guy, but I'm very good at what I do, and I love doing what I do. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Enjoy this video. See you then.